Scadding Cabin, or Simcoe Cabin, is a 1794 log cabin in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It was built by John Scadding and is the oldest known surviving house in Toronto. History. The cabin was originally built on the property of John Scadding, an immigrant from Devonshire, in order to fulfill his settlement duties to the Crown. The cabin stood at the east side of the Don River on a 253-acre land grant that stretched north from Lake Ontario to present-day Danforth Avenue. Scadding lived in the cabin until he returned to England in 1796. When Scadding returned to York in 1818, he sold his property and cabin to a farmer named William Smith, who used the cabin as an outbuilding. The cabin remained in the Smith family until 1879, when the cabin was offered to the York pioneers. Henry Scadding, son of John Scadding, was a founding member of the Historical Society. York pioneers. In 1879, John Smith, the owner of the Scadding property, gave Scadding Cabin to the York pioneers. 1879 was also the beginning of the Toronto Industrial Exhibition. Later the CNE and the York pioneers worked with the CNE's founders to move the cabin to its current site to celebrate the fair's inauguration. The cabin was dismantled, moved and reconstructed by the York pioneers on the grounds of the first industrial exhibition, now Exhibition Place, on August 22, 1879. Current use. The York pioneers currently operate Scadding Cabin as a museum. Scadding Cabin is furnished as a pioneer home from the 1830s to early 1840s, although there are artifacts that date back to the 1790s. Furnishings include 2 spinning wheels and a wool winder, equipment for making bread and butter, a candle mold and utensils for cooking on an open hearth. Scadding Cabin is open during the Canadian National Exhibition held each year from mid-August to the end of Canada's Labor Day weekend. The cabin is also open through special arrangements and for community events during the summer months, such as Toronto's Doors Open. In the past, the cabin has been open during the Luminato Festival and annual Chin Picnic when these events are held at Exhibition Place. See also: List of oldest buildings and structures in Toronto. Fort Rouillé. York Pioneers Historical Society website.